Well, continuing with our focus on women's issues during Women's Month now, addressing the National Women's Day commemoration in Richmond yesterday, President Cyril Ramaphosa conceded that a lot still needs to be done in the advancement of women and women's issues in the country. He also highlighted some of the gains that were made in the advancement of women, especially in the fields of education and politics. But some academics in the tourism sector believe that yesterday's National Women's Day celebrations were yet another missed opportunity for tourism consumption. Now, one such person is Tshwane University of Technology's tourism academic, Dr. Unathi Henama, who argues that this year's commemoration would have served or would have been better served had it been held at the non-operational Women's Living Heritage Memorial in Tshwane. And Dr. Henama joins us now for more on this conversation. Dr. Henama, thanks so much for your time. Welcome to Morning Live once more.
Good morning, Sakina, and good morning to the listeners. Don't get me fired, Sakina. Central University of Technology, Free State in Bloemfontein. Don't get me fired, eh?
Yeah. I'll try not Sakina, to relocate you.
No, don't get me fired, please. Okay. What I can say is that when you look at the museum, which was opened in 2016, it was a great opportunity to revitalize the CBD of the city of Tshwane. And unfortunately, this building, this great monument, which cost 80 million rands, has not been opened till today. And it's a missed opportunity because so many people would have gone to the museum, taken a walk or a drive to the union buildings, walked up the stairs, just like all those women who walked on that Monument's Day, and hand over their grievance to a former Prime Minister Curating and indicate that they are against the past laws. Now, it's a missed opportunity because the museum is not operational. People cannot go to the CBD of the city of Tshwane and visit that monument. And then, unfortunately, it also has a detrimental impact on State Theatre, which is immediately next door to the museum. So it is that missed opportunity because yesterday, people could be commemorating the event in the city of Tshwane, and that's quite unfortunate.
So how would you respond to an argument that it doesn't matter where you take it, someone elsewhere in another province might still cry foul, thinking that they are more deserving for one reason or another?
I agree with your sentiments. What I'm indicating is that 80 million rands of taxpayers' money was earmarked to build that monument, to create it to be a world-class facility. That 80 million makes it in a white elephant because it's not operational. So we have to hold our public service, which is obviously the Ministry of Mr. Unathi, and we expect the Minister of Tourism to be at the forefront to find answers. Why is this museum not operational? Because this is a missed tourism potential. And yesterday would have been a great opportunity to commemorate that great event at that facility. Remember, Sakina, this was taxpayers' money that was used to fund that facility.
So let's talk about this memorial. Tell us more about it, its significance, and, why, to your knowledge at least, Dr. Henama, this facility remains non-operational.
The significance of this event is that it is the first facility that was created as part of post-apartheid memory creation to indicate that women played a pivotal role in the struggle of liberation of this country. And this monument was created to commemorate this important event because memorabilia, museums, create and articulate a living story about the experience of a people. And because it is such a world-class facility, it is quite painful that it is not operational today. And it is a missed opportunity for the CBD because remember, when people come and visit that facility, they buy food, they come with transportation, they book accommodation. So it has a positive impact of the economy of the city of Tshwane. So it is a missed tourism potential. And also, Sakina, let's always remember, when these things are developed within a CBD, urban regeneration becomes a very important aspect why we develop such facilities to ensure that private investors once again come to the CBD, to ensure that people come and buy property in the CBD to obviously prevent urban decay.
So, Dr. Henama, the Women's Living Heritage Memorial, what can visitors expect to see? I know it's non-operational, but just in terms of expectation, what should people expect to see and the experience that they can look forward to when they visit there?
what obviously we expect is that obviously there are those great pictures of the women going there. There is also technology within obviously the museum to ensure that it gives visitors a proper history, visuals to see what happened, to obviously put the names of all those great women that marched there. The memorandum handed over to Prime Minister Straight-up. All of these things will obviously be part and parcel of the curating of the experience within that museum.
So again, the argument would be that the mere existence of such a memorial is surely an indication of government's appreciation of women and women's contributions to this country, its liberation and its advancement. So with regard to that, how would you respond to critique on your criticism that it may be misplaced in this instance, as an example?
Well, for a developing country like South Africa, any piece of money that we put on memorabilia will always be contested because people want roads, people want education, people want healthcare. All of these things are important. And obviously, memorabilia has an important role to play. That is why I was at the forefront to say, I'm against the idea of the flag. I'm against the idea of a flag. Ne? I'm against that idea because there are existing museums in the country that we could use to ensure that we tell the story appropriately.
So, Dr. Henama, you spoke very briefly, or at least just touched on the links to celebrations or commemorations of this nature to tourism in this instance. But let's just broaden that slightly. So this particular instance, so you would have people coming to the museum, but just more broadly speaking, linking commemorative events or celebratory events to tourism. How are we doing as a country, and where could we improve on this?
Sakina, unfortunately, I just have to abort the interview, unfortunately. Yeah? I just have to abort the interview. Just something is, you just have to abort the interview. Can we just maybe continue after a few minutes? Thank you.
All right. And we unfortunately have to abort that interview. Not sure what's happening there with Dr. Unathi Henama, but he's unfortunately had to go. I think there's something distracting him in the location where he is. You could see he was in his car, had pulled over to do the interview, but unfortunately unable to continue. And that, of course, was Dr. Unathi Henama, basically indicating that yesterday's commemoration of Women's Day event could have been better served had it been held in Tshwane at the Women's Living Heritage Memorial, which remains inoperable, and this after 80 million rand had been spent on that facility.